All right, we're coming.
Runners at first and second for Baldwin Wallace. Top of the first, 2 down. A shot down the left field line, tails foul for Alex Ludwig. Ludwig, a freshman, the only first year in the starting lineup for BW in this one. Batted .335. Another 1-2 pitch coming from Nate Barnes. This one roped out to left field, dropping. John Lippincott can't get there for Westfield State. That'll plate the first run of the game. RBI double for Alex Ludwig. Brings home Dudley Taw, and it's 1-0 Baldwin Wallace in the top of the first. That run is unearned for Nate Barnes because Dudley Taw reached via the catcher's interference. Technically an error on the catcher. So riding the same script as the last game for BW, Alex Ludwig drives in the first run in the first inning. That brings up Jacob Bonner, swings at the first pitch. Straight back, up in the air for Jake Gibb, the catcher. Underneath, and he makes the catch. So Baldwin Wallace scores in the first inning for the second consecutive day. We'll see if they can find a better result than they did yesterday when they lost to Swarthmore. Westfield State to the plate next with Lippincott, Dooley, and Lafayette.
Baldwin Wallace in the top of the first. We had 1 run on 1 hit and 1 error and 2 left out.
Yep, so
Leading off for the Owls in the bottom of the first, a left fielder, number 11, John Lippincott.
Baldwin Wallace takes a 1-0 lead in the top of the first. That sends Westfield State to the plate in the bottom half of the frame. And up first for the Owls, John Lippincott, one of their captains, on a 10-game hit streak coming into this one. Did pick up a hit in the loss yesterday against Cortland. Westfield State giving the number 1 seed all they could handle going to 10 innings. On the mound today for Baldwin Wallace, dealing strike 1, Danny Cody. The junior righty with a .324 ERA and a 6-3 record during the season. Lippincott fights it off foul, quickly 0-2. Danny Cody, first team all-conference in the Ohio Athletic Conference. Back in mid-March, he was the pitcher of the week. 6'3", 175 on the mound. Up 0-2 on Lippincott early. Pumps a fastball right into the dirt. 75 total innings for Cody this season. 93 strikeouts. One of the more impressive numbers you'll see in D3 baseball. Hard shot right to the third baseman. Kyle Pennington makes the play. Solid contact for John Lippincott, but right to the hot corner. One down.
Abandoning the third baseman, number 10, Brett Dooley.
That brings up Brett Dooley, who went 2 for 5 yesterday with an RBI. Same exact starting 9 for Westfield State. First pitch from Cody. Dooley hit .331 during the season. Got on base more than 41% of the time. Takes ball 1 from Cody, 1-1. Dooley started 0-3 with a couple of groundouts and a strikeout in innings 1, 3, and 5. Then in the 7th and 9th, an RBI single and then another single. The 1-1 from Cody. Finds the lower outside corner. 1-2. Two and two as that breaking ball dances outside. Westfield State went down 4-1 yesterday against Cortland, but they came all the way back to send that one to extra innings. They lost on a pass ball in the bottom of the 10th. The 2-2. Check swing, appeal to the first base umpire, Justin Sims. He says he did not go around. This crew again upping the 10 o'clock start and also the late afternoon one later today, just like they did yesterday. There's a 3-2. Missed low and outside, ball 4.
Coming to the plate, the first baseman.
Each pitcher gives up a walk in the first inning. Baldwin Wallace sent Badie all the way to third base. He did not score, but the Yellow Jackets still put up a run in that top half of the frame. Alex Lafayette in next for the Owls. He takes ball 1 outside. Cody during the season with those 93 strikeouts, only 25 walks in the 75 innings. Pick off over to first base, taking a look at Brett Dooley. Dooley 5 for 8 on stolen base attempts during the season. Jacob Bonner, the first baseman for Baldwin Wallace. Spencer Badie at second base, Alex Ludwig at short, Kyle Pennington at third. The 1-0 sky down the right field line in foul territory. Bonner giving chase, gives it a look, and it bounces off the deck here at Falcon Park. In the outfield for BW, Dudley Taw in left field, Chase Knodel in center, and Alex Markham in right. Battery, Danny Cody the pitcher, Trent Kaltenbach the catcher. Missed low and outside, 2-1. Lafayette was 1 for 5 yesterday. Westfield State giving Cortland all they could handle. The top seed in the host here in Auburn, again, needed 10 innings to beat the 8 seed. Two-one pitch lifted, that stays in the infield. Right toward the pitcher's mound. Cody makes the call and the catch as he steps off the hill. 2 down. I believe that is the first pitcher catch we've seen during this tournament in game number 5. Remember yesterday there was a play where a third baseman sprinted across the mound because the pitcher didn't make the call, and he dove across the hill and made the SportsCenter top 10 play. First pitch of ball to Anthony Crowley. MASCAC Player of the Year for Westfield State this season. The 1-0 pitch. Catches the outside corner. 1-1. Missed outside, 2-1. The third baseman who made that play was Matt Mahalski for Cortland. The pitcher Mike Harrington in the 5th inning might not have realized that it was coming right at him. Mahalski dove across the mound and made the catch. 2-1. Missed low and outside, 3-1. Crowley yesterday, 3 for 5 with a double and a run batted in. 367 with a 753 slugging percentage in the regular season. The 3-1 pitch, runner goes, Crowley swings and protects him, makes it a 3-2 count. Payoff pitch with 2 down. Runner goes on the pitch. Knocked down by the pitcher Cody. And Crowley is retired. Dooley gets aboard via the walk for Westfield State. Aside from that, nothing doing in the bottom half of the first. It's a 1-0 BW lead after the first.
For Westfield State, in the bottom of the first, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left out.
Thank you, Aaron. Love Vic. Damn it! So it's everyone. It's not just the guy from yesterday. This guy's name is Phil Wells, right? He's a beast. Yeah, he's an. I mean, I don't blame him for batting. Just put him in the lineup.
Yeah, what do you hide? How can you hide a 6'4", 250 kid? You know, maybe not 250, but dude's an animal. Hey, guess what? Phil Wells is in the lineup. I'd be a little bit more scared of that. You know what I mean? Like.
No betting for Evan Lovett, the DH, number 31, Phil Wells.
Baldwin Wallace back to the plate in the top of the second after they score a run in the top half of the first. And for the second consecutive day, BW goes with an unorthodox lineup change. Here's Phil Wells, technically the pinch hitter, and this is the first time that this spot has come to the plate. Strike one comes in from Nate Barnes. Gave up that 1 hit on the one run, I should say, on just 1 hit, 1 error on the catcher's interference that allowed Dudley Todd to take first base. He came around to score on the RBI double from Alex Ludwig. The 0-1 pitch. Toward the bullpen and foul, 1-1. 0-2, I should say. So Phil Wells for the second consecutive day. Pinch hits to lead off the second inning. The guy he replaces did not bat a single time. Yesterday it was Brandon Weissong, who started as the DH and did not make it to the plate once. Today it's Evan Lovick. Wells takes ball 1. I don't think the Westfield State faithful agreed with the call from Mike Lum. 1-2. Evan Lovick, by the way, the starting pitcher from yesterday for Baldwin Wallace. Technically gets the start at DH, and technically he was not retired a single time, so a good day at the plate for him. Here's the 1-2 from Barnes. Missed low with a fastball, 2-2. He is one tough out. Counts 2-2. Barnes dealing to Wells. Hard line drive out to right field. The guy pinch hits for a reason. Why not just put him in the starting lineup? Who knows? He gets a single to lead off the second.
Throws off his stats that night,
The best pinch hitter of all time.
Now batting the catcher, number 13.
That brings up Trent Kaltenbach with Wells at first base. Kaltenbach, the catcher, batting in the 8-hole again. Again, every spot in this BW lineup is the same, aside from that 7-hole, which really is the same with Wells coming in as the DH. First pitch to Kaltenbach, missed outside from Barnes, 1-0. Wells yesterday, by the way, started out 0-2. The line drive and a fly out to the center fielder both times in the 2nd and 4th. After that, back-to-back innings he came to the plate. Back-to-back doubles in the 6th and the 7th. 1-0. Finds the lower corner, 1-1. One of those doubles for Wells was a 3-run bases clearing two-bagger that took it from a 4-3 deficit for BW to a 6-4 lead. That was in the 7th inning, and then Swarthmore came back with 7 more runs in the last 2 innings to take that game. The 1-1 to Kaltenbach, swung on, roped out to left field, but it tails foul, past the clubhouse, down the home line here at Falcon Park, the third base line. Kaltenbach yesterday, 1 of 3 with a sacrifice fly and a single.
Took a little flip there.
Count 1-2 with Phil Wells at first base. Barnes from the stretch, fastball low. Kaltenbach, the senior, stands in at 5'10", 200 pounds. 289 hitter during the season. The 2-2. Fastball low again. Nice stop by the catcher for Westfield State, Jake Gibb. Kaltenbach, all conference for the 2nd straight year this season. Last year, 2nd team. This year, an honorable mention. The 3-2 from Barnes. Runner goes, swing and a miss. Throw to second base from Gibb. Was in time to get Wells, but it skips past the shortstop, Colin Dunn, covering the bag. Still 1 down, though, in the top half of the 2nd. And that is a stolen base for the big boy, Phil Wells. And Wells is gonna have to retreat to the dugout. He is out, even though he slid in safely, because the batter, Kaltenbach, called for interference back at the plate. So now 2 down in the top of the 2nd. Instead of having a runner in scoring position with 1 down, no men on, 2 down for Kyle Pennington. That is the first strikeout of the morning for either pitcher, and it goes to Nate Barnes. I don't know how you mark that in your scorebook for that double play. Strikeout plus batter interference. That's the best I can do. The 1-1 on the way to Pennington. Goes the opposite way. Kyle Murphy gives chase, and he makes the catch for Westfield State. 1-2-3, the unique way. Baldwin Wallace goes down in order in the top of the 2nd. Still a 1-0 lead for the Yellow Jackets, with 5, 6, and 7 due up next for Westfield State.
For Baldwin Wallace in the top of the 2nd, they had no runs. On 1 hit, no errors, and no one left out.
Okay.
So it's
The quirkiness of baseball
K2U.
scoring.
K2U.
The batter interfered with the catcher's ability to try to throw him out.
Okay. He still should have got it.
What's that? Sure. Yeah.
10:30 in the morning.
Dude, I can't help it. Non-stop.
Leading off for Westfield State, The catcher, number 28.
Jake Gibb walks to the plate first for Westfield State here in the bottom of the second. Westfield State, the 8th seed in this New York Regional of the D3 College Baseball Tournament against the 4 seed Baldwin Wallace. They flip home and road roles today. Gibb in first against Danny Cody, the pitcher for BW, deals strike one. Gibb yesterday in that loss to Swarthmore, I beg your pardon, and the loss to Cortland for Westfield State. 2 for 4 with a walk as well. Baldwin Wallace lost to Swarthmore, the only higher seed to lose yesterday. The other top seeds needed some help and some late game heroics to win. The 1-1 missed low and outside, but it caught the outside corner. And that's 1-2. Cody deals to Gibb. That one did miss outside, 2-2. So Baldwin Wallace drops the first game of the day yesterday, 11-6 against Swarthmore, the 5 seed. After that, all tight games for the 3, 2, and 1 seeds. Speaking of 3 and 2, that's the new count to Gibb. Cortland, the top seed in the host against this Westfield State Owls team, had to win 5-4 and 10 innings on a pass ball. Southern Maine needed a couple of runs in the bottom of the 8th to knock off Amherst. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Cody's got his first punch out. Gibb goes down swinging. Strikeout number 94 of the season for Danny Cody, already a single season record holder in Baldwin Wallace history. Also led the Ohio Athletic Conference with that total of 93 during the season. That brings up Colin Dunn, the shortstop for Westfield State. He takes strike 1 on the outside edge. So Cortland and Southern Maine both win in thrilling fashion, and the same thing could be said for Salisbury. The 0-1 missed outside, 1-1. Salisbury, the 2 seed, another top 10 team in the country along with Cortland. Cortland number 9, Salisbury number 10. They go to the 10th inning and they win with the single from Simon Palanchar in that frame. 1-2 pitch fouled straight back, so it's 1-2. St. Joseph's College gave them all they could handle in that last game. It started at 9, cruised along. They fit in 10 innings in just 2.5 hours. Thanks largely to the 2 starting pitchers. Here's your 1-2. Missed outside, 2-2. Yesterday, the first couple of games in the morning and early afternoon took more than 3 hours. Next 2 games flew by. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Ring him up, strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Danny Cody. First one swinging. Now he gets Colin Dunn to go down looking.
Now batting the designated hitter, number 21, Aaron Clancy.
Couple of quick outs for Baldwin Wallace's starting pitcher. Up next, Aaron Clancy, the DH for Westfield State. He takes ball 1 low. One-0 upstairs with a fastball. For Cody, in his last 4 starts, he's gone at least 6 innings in all of them. 7 innings back in late April, 8 innings in early May, 6 innings again about a week ago. 2-0 pitch finds the outside corner. 2-1. Clancy went 0 for 3 yesterday and a 2-1 count now against Cody. He takes ball 3 outside, 3-1. Clancy batted .280 during the season, made 29 appearances and 24 starts. Westfield State 24-16-1. Swing and a foul tip. Right back to the catcher, 3-2. Full count, 2 down in the bottom of the second. Westfield State trailing 1-0. Clancy stays alive. In the on-deck circle, Kyle Murphy, the 8-hole hitter, and then Tyler Beach rounds things out. Same exact starting 9 for Westfield State in this one. Another payoff pitch. Drops in there, strike 3. Danny Cody mows him down, strikes out the side in the bottom of the second, and it's still a 1-0 BW lead as we go to the top of the third.
For the Owls in the bottom of the second, they had no runs and no no hits, no errors, and no one left down. At the end of 2 complete innings of play, it's Baldwin Wallace 1 and Westfield State 0.
It's they definitely a little bit more liberal around there.
Yeah. Hey, man, I'm not Did you want to hit on the hint on the trivia question?
Oh goodness.
I just can't wait to see your face on that.
Yeah.
That's gonna make my day.
Maybe
let's save it for like the last game.
Of the last. Well, he's good.
We have 5 MVPs with 4 letters.
So
and
again.
5 hits.
So okay. So I got.
Was that you in that group chat, by the way? That
No.
Manny texted?
No, I sent it to Dave Lindbergh and Jimmy Tyson. So I was like, Jeff Gad! They were part of the thing. I was like, I'm writing one like, I got to send it to somebody. My wife's sleeping.
I thought it was Matt Kemp, but he finished second. So I looked it up.
And I threw out Matt Kemp earlier.
Leading off for the Yellow Jackets, the center fielder, number 9, Chase Canodo.
2 innings in the books here on day 2 of the New York Regional in the Division III College Baseball Tournament. Baldwin Wallace on top 1-0, the 4 seed in this regional against the 8 seed Westfield State in our first game on this beautiful morning in Auburn. BW goes back to the top of the lineup with Chase Canodo. Shows bunt right away, pulls it back, and takes ball 1. Canodo started off this game with a fly out to the first baseman Alex Lafayette in foul territory. The 1-0 from Nate Barnes, the lefty pitcher for Westfield State, up high for ball 2. That fastball catches the lower edge, 2-1. Barnes, the grad student out of Westfield, playing for his hometown team. ERA of 4.83 during the season. The 2-1. Missed outside, 3-1. Making his first start since the conference tournament against Framingham State. 3-1. Finds the inside corner. Strike 2. Pitched a couple of times in that set in the conference tournament, which Westfield State won. To earn the spot here. The 3-2 pitch. And on the hands, he fights it off foul. Canodo stays alive. In the start a couple of weeks ago, 5 full innings for Barnes, allowed 3 runs, all of them earned. Walked 6 batters. 3-2 pitch. Again, Canodo sends it toward shallow right field. This time the right fielder Murphy makes the catch. 1 down.
Now batting the left fielder, number 4, Dudley Taw.
And that brings up the lone run score from today's game so far. Dudley Taw, back in the first inning, reached first base via the catcher's interference. Came all the way around to score on the RBI double from Alex Ludwig. First pitch from Barnes, left on left. Fouled straight back. Taw, the sophomore from Sheffield Lake, Ohio. Batted .387 during the season, a first-team all-conference player. The 0-1 pitch. Drops in there, 1-0-2. The 0-2 pitch. Golfed out to shallow right center field. Murphy been busy in this inning already, and he makes another catch. 2 down.
Now batting the right fielder, number 5, Alex.
So back-to-back
Markham.
F9s to lead off the top of the third for Baldwin Wallace. That brings up Alex Markham. Markham grounded out to the shortstop Dunn back in the first. He takes ball 1 here from Barnes. So Baldwin Wallace scored that 1 run thanks to Todd getting on base via the catcher's interference. We've also seen batter interference in this game already. Hard hit line drive, tails fouled on the left field line, high off the wall. Plenty of juice on that hit, but it's foul. Catcher's interference and batter's interference both happened with Baldwin Wallace at the plate. Trent Kaltenbach, the guilty party, back in the second inning with Phil Wells trying to steal second base. The 1-1 from Barnes. Missed outside, ball 2. The 2-1 pitch. Missed outside with a fastball, 3-1. Markham looking for his first hit in this NCAA tournament, went 0 for 4 yesterday. 3-1 poked out to right field. Is it going to be 3 straight F9s? Yes, it is. So after the bottom of the second, where Danny Cody struck out the side, the right fielder Kyle Murphy retires the side for Westfield State with 3 straight pop-outs to that spot. Still a 1-0 lead for Baldwin Wallace, headed to the bottom of the third. Westfield State sends up 8-9-1 with Kyle Murphy. Got his money's worth out in right field there at the top half of the third. He leads things off in the bottom half of the frame.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's ready to go.
Leading off for the Owls, the right fielder, number 7, Kyle Murphy.
Elimination game here on day 2 of the New York Regional D3 College Baseball Tournament. Westfield State, the 8 seed, technically the home team wearing the white, against Baldwin Wallace, the 4 seed, technically the visitor. Kyle Murphy leads things off for the Owls against Danny Cody, who struck out the side in the bottom of the second. Cody with 93 strikeouts during the season, a single season program record at Baldwin Wallace. He flashed the stuff, showed us why he was so dynamic in the regular season. The 1-0 pitch, missed upstairs according to Mike Lum. Keep an eye on Lum's strike zone so far. Looks more like a weird polygon than a rectangle. The 2-0. Line drive out to left field. Giving chase Dudley Ton. He makes the catch at his eye level.
Now batting the second baseman, number 3.
6 straight batters retired for Danny Cody. ERA of .324 in the regular season. Opponent average of just .242. The 9-hole hitter, Tyler Beach, in next for Westfield State. Jumps at the first pitch. Shallow center field. Badia, the second baseman, looks up. Called off by Canoto, the center fielder. And he squeezes it. So Tyler Beach may be a bit antsy after he went 0 for 4 yesterday. Did reach on an error and came around to score. Today he's 0 for 1 on just 1 pitch. That brings up John Lippincott back to the top for Westfield State. Lippincott, .312 hitter during the season. And he went 1 for 5 yesterday. Drove in a run, though, and also scored a run. Plus, he's red hot coming in. First pitch from Cody shaves the outside corner, bringing the heat here in the bottom of the third. Lippincott with a 10-game hit streak now after that 1 hit yesterday. The 0-1 from Cody. Swing and a miss on the pitch in the dirt, 0-2. For Lippincott, double-figure hit streaks, nothing new. Last year, a 17-game hit streak. Second in program history for Westfield State. Down 0-2 against Danny Cody here. Try to get him to chase that fastball outside. Lots of velocity on that heater from Danny Cody. The 1-2. Low in the dirt. Lippincott chased that pitch earlier in this at-bat. Now he lays off. 2-2 the count with 2 down in the bottom half of the third inning. Westfield State trailing 1-0. Both these teams dropped their first games yesterday, so this one an elimination game. Loser goes home. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Carlton Bach hangs on, no play necessary at first base. 4 Ks for Danny Cody. Cruise control through 3 innings. Baldwin Wallace back to the plate in the top of the 4th.
For Westfield State, in the bottom of the third, no runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left in.
I was waiting for the first one of these. I love it. I love it.
Stay on schedule. Consider yourself lucky that you're not here for the rest of the week.
That's for sure.
Tomorrow.
Fans, take home a souvenir from today's games. Visit the NCAA merchandise booth behind the third base stands, the venue for great championship gear and memorabilia.
Sunday because it would mean the team could potentially play 3 games.
Also, we'd like to remind everybody that the concession stand is open. Now batting the second baseman, number 6, Spencer.
3 innings in the books. Game 1 of day 2 of the New York Regional here at beautiful Falcon Park in Auburn, New York. Baldwin Wallace on top 1-0 over Westfield State. They send 4, 5, and 6 to the dish here in the top half of the 4th inning. Spencer Badia, the cleanup man, leads things off, the second baseman for the Yellow Jackets. Same pitcher on the hill for Westfield State, Nate Barnes. Works a 1-1 count on that foul ball from Badia. He walked back in the first inning. Went 1 of 4 yesterday. He was also hit by a pitch in BW's loss to Swarthmore. Here comes the 1-1 from Nate Barnes. Missed outside with a tailing fastball, 2-1. Spencer Badia comes into this one as hot as maybe any player in the tournament. The 2-1 from Nate Barnes. Golfed out to shallow right center field. Crowley, the center fielder for Westfield State, on it. He makes the catch. So Badia now 1 of 5 in this NCAA tournament. Through the conference tournament, he was rock solid. Co-most valuable player in that Ohio Athletic Conference tournament, which BW simply dominated. That brings in Alex Ludwig. Drove in the first and only run of the game so far back in the first inning. First pitch to him, strike 1 from Barnes. Ludwig 2 for 5 yesterday, so a hot start to the NCAA tournament for him. The 1-1 from Barnes to Ludwig. Missed low in the dirt, 2-1. Baldwin Wallace following the same script as it did yesterday in the first inning. They were in the bottom half of that frame as the home team against the 5-seed Swarthmore. But again, it's Taw scoring the first run, and again, it's Ludwig driving him in. This time he skies it out toward right field. Kyle Murphy, who made all 3 putouts in the last inning, underneath this one as well, for another flyout. That is 6 straight batters who have flown out to the outfield. So Nate Barnes inducing some soft pop-ups.
Now batting the first baseman.
Most of them pretty harmless.
Jacob Bonner.
Pennington, Knodel, Tom, Markham, Padilla, Ludwig all go to the outfield. They're all retired. In total, it's 7 straight putouts for Nate Barnes. Started out with a strikeout of Trent Kaltenbach. Strike 1 comes into Jacob Bonner. By the way, 5 of those 6 putouts by Kyle Murphy. The 0-1 pitch from Barnes to Jacob Bonner. Missed low in the dirt, 1-1. 2 down here in the top of the 4th inning. 2 hits for BW so far and 1 run. As for Westfield State, nothing across the board. The 1-1 to Bonner. Swung on, poked out to shallow right field, tailing down. Murphy gives chase. And guess what? He makes the catch. Kyle Murphy busy out in right field so far, but Baldwin Wallace with a 1-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the 4th.
Machine out there. Yeah, right.
For the Yellow Jackets in the top of the 4th, they had no runs,
Brad?
no hits, no
that
errors,
record?
and no runs on base.
Just assuming you know.
6 of 7.
6 of 7.
He probably could have called him off, but you know. You got this one. Man, I'm just carrying you guys in defense.
The NCAA would like to thank official equipment suppliers, Homings, Rollins, and Spec Seats for their support of NCAA championships. Their contributions help enhance the educational and athletic experiences of more than 500,000 NCAA student athletes. Leading off, the 3rd baseman, number 10, Brett Dooley.
Westfield State looking to get a crack against Danny Cody, who's been lights out so far for Baldwin Wallace. Deal strike 1 to Brett Dooley. 2, 3, and 4 coming to the plate for the Owls in this one. Dooley, Alex Lafayette, and Anthony Crowley. The 0-1 from Cody. Breaking ball, just missed inside, I guess. Dooley did walk back in the 1st. So far, the only man to reach safely against Danny Cody. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Dooley 2 for 5 yesterday, and that loss to Cortland. Westfield State takes the number 1 seed in the host all the way to 10 innings. They lost on the walk-off pass ball, though. That's why they're here in the first game today. 1-2 fouled off to the right side. Count remains the same. Westfield State during the season 24-16-1. Champions of the Massachusetts State Athletic Conference. The 1-2. Fought off on the ground. Alex Ludwig, the shortstop, on it for BW. Air and throw, and the first baseman makes the athletic play. Jacob Bonner applies the tag to Brett Dooley.
Now batting the first baseman, number 31, Alex Lafayette.
That brings up Alex Lafayette, the 3-hole hitter for Westfield State, a .325 hitter during the regular season. First pitch from Cody, in there, strike 1. Lafayette with that closed-off batting stance, but watch his left foot. Looked like he kind of stepped in the bucket there on that first one. Here comes the 0-1 from Cody. Missed upstairs with a fastball, 1-1. Whatever works for Lafayette. Again, 325 the batting average, a 521 slugging percentage too. The 1-1 from Cody. And right on cue, a line drive single for Lafayette. First hit of the day for Westfield State here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Danny Cody in control on the mound. Last 2 frames have been 1, 2, 3 innings. Only base runner had been Dooley, who reached via the walk back in the 1st. Cody with 4 strikeouts already, 3 of them in the 2nd inning. A pure strikeout of the side with Gibb, Dunn, and Clancy going down in order. Here in the bottom of the 4th, though, Alex Lafayette, the single, dives back to first base on the pickoff attempts. Anthony Crowley at the dish for the Owls. 0 for 1 today, but 3 of 5 yesterday. Lafayette on the season, 3 for 4, trying to steal bases. One and 2 as Crowley swings through that pitch from Cody. Cody up to 55 pitches today with 31 strikes. Here's the 1-1. Chopper toward third base. Fair ball. Kyle Pennington makes the play for BW, not in time. And the speedy Crowley beats it out. Third base umpire Greg Hewitt deemed that was a fair ball. Pennington cut it off right in front of the bag, and that'll be a hit and an infield single for Anthony Crowley.
Now batting the catcher, number 28, Jake Gibb.
So runners on first and second for Westfield State. Crowley at first, Lafayette at second for Jake Gibb. Catcher takes a fastball right down the heart for strike 1. The 0-1 from Cody. Swing and a miss, strike 2. I'm seeing the full arsenal from Kyle Cody already. Danny Cody. 93 strikeouts during the season, a single season record for Baldwin Wallace. The 0-2 has to wait. Plenty of heat on his fastball, plus seen a nasty breaking ball down in the dirt. A couple of Owls have already chased it. See what he comes with in an 0-2 count with 1 down here in the bottom of the 4th. Another heater, missed barely outside. Gibb, the first strikeout victim of the day for Cody, back to lead off the 2nd inning. This time a check swing, first base umpire, no appeal necessary. Mike Lum makes the call behind the plate, 2-2. Lifted out to right field. Markham is underneath for Baldwin Wallace, and he makes the catch. Not deep enough for a tag from second base. Lafayette retreats. Throw rolls all the way to third base. So an innocuous F9 for Jake Gibb.
Now batting the shortstop, number 15.
First play Markham has had to make out in right field. Compare that to Kyle Murphy, the right fielder for Westfield State. He's made plenty. 6 of the last 7 outs have gone out to right field. Runner still at first and second for Colin Dunn. 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th. Fastball in there, strike 1. Dunn, one of the guys who struck out back in the 2nd. He went down looking. A couple of nasty pitches from Danny Cody. Three looks at second base, now the 0-1. Fastball up high, 1-1. But nothing doing for Westfield State. Still a 1-0 BW lead after 4.
Westfield State, the bottom of the fourth, they had no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left down.
I mean, you can do whatever you need to do. I can throw all 3.
I'll be over there. So we're humming right along.
I'll come over after this half.
Yeah, there's a tunnel around here. Yes, sir. Okay, you got it, Terry. Hey, we're on task. Yeah, we'll hold reserve for the doubles. Lord knows, last year was very frustrating. We blew, I'm not joking, we're here of 1 to 8. And we blew 2 8-run leads, by the way. It was awful. Including opening day, we were 10 to 5. In the 9th inning, we gave up 5 to 9.
Leading off for the Yellow Jackets, the designated hitter, number 31, Phil Wells.
Bottom of the order due up for Baldwin Wallace, top of the 5th. A 1-0 lead for the Yellow Jackets over Westfield State. Phil Wells leads things off against Nate Barnes, and strike 1 comes in from the southpaw. Pitch number 66 for Barnes, strike number 40 against Phil Wells, who's 1 for 1 so far today. Led off the second inning with a single, looking to do the same thing here in the 5th. Ground ball down the first baseline, foul. 0-2 already. Wells during the season, .305 was the batting average. He slugged .466, got on base at a rate of .403. He started 28 games. He's technically not started either game here in the tournament so far. Here comes the 0-2. Missed low 1-2. You might be wondering, how is that possible? He's not missed a single at-bat. That's because he comes in as a pinch hitter for the DH before the actual DH even takes 1 plate appearance. It's happened each of the last 2 days. The 1-2. Breaking ball, fought off foul, straight back over our heads. Remains 1-2. Wells yesterday with doubles in back-to-back innings, including a 3-run bases clearing double in the 7th inning. Gave Baldwin Wallace a 2-run lead in that frame. Swarthmore came back with 7 more runs to take it 11-4. This time Wells, another single, same gap, through the right side of the infield. He's aboard for the 2nd time in as many trips to the plate.
Now batting, the catcher, number 13, Trent Kaltenbach.
That brings up Trent Kaltenbach. Last time he was at the plate back in the 2nd, Wells was also on 1st. That one ended a little bit weirdly. Wells tried to steal 2nd on the strikeout pitch to Kaltenbach. He was ruled for batter's interference as Jake Gibb, the catcher, tried to make the throw. This time he swings at the first pitch. It could be 2. Third baseman Dooley on it over to second base to beach the relay, not in time. So a 5-4 fielder's choice retires Wells and allows Kaltenbach to make it to first base safely.
Kyle Pennington.
Is it Pington? Pington. P-I-N-G-E-T-O-N.
Kyle Pennington takes strike 1 from Nate Barnes.
Pennington. Sorry, we have Pingtons. Okay, yeah, that's what. I thought that's what he said. My bad, Terry. I'm sorry.
Trent Kaltenbach at first base. Kyle Pennington at the plate. Takes ball 1 from Nate Barnes.
Sorry there. Yeah. SMIT. You're crying out loud.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 down. Top of the 5th inning. Baldwin Wallace on top, 1-0. Here in the first game of our Friday action here in the D3 Regional, hosted at Falcon Park. Swing and a line drive out to right center field. Hit and run executed to perfection. Kaltenbach was off with the pitch, and he cruises into third base. Runners at the corners, first with 1 down. 1 down, top of the 5th inning. Baldwin Wallace on top, 1-0. Here in the first game of our Friday action here in the D3 Regional, hosted at Falcon Park. Swing and a line drive out to right center field. Hit and run executed to perfection. Kaltenbach was off with the pitch, and he cruises into third base. Runners at the corner. So Pennington at first, Kaltenbach at third, with the top of the order back to the plate. Here in the top of the 5th, it's Chase Knodel, 0 for 2 so far today. A couple of pop-outs to the right side. Shows bunts. And he takes ball 1 low and outside. Keep an eye on Kaltenbach over at third base. Pennington at first. A couple of stolen bases on 2 attempts. 2 for 2 during the season. Pennington reached 3 times yesterday, did not try to steal once. Now he does. Pitch fouled straight back. So Knudel fights it off, 1-1 the count with 1 down here in the top of the 5th. Could be a double steal on for Baldwin Wallace. Head coach Brian Harrison for BW, maybe getting a little fancy. Barnes ready with the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball chopped towards second base. Beach on it for Westfield State. Throw to first, not in time, and that'll play to run. Knodel legs it out down the first base line, and he gets credited with the RBI on the fielder's choice. Coming home to score, Kaltenbach, and it's a 2-0 BW lead here in the 5th inning.
Now batting the left fielder, number 4, Dudley Tall.
And the reason why Baldwin Wallace able to score that run, because of the perfect hit and run that sent Kaltenbach over to third base on the single by Pennington. That brings up Dudley Taw. Chops the first pitch foul, 0-1. Taw's third plate appearance so far. Reached safely via the catcher's interference back in the first and came around to score on Alex Ludwig's RBI double. That was the first run of the game. Now it's 2-0, Yellow Jackets lead. The 0-1 from Barnes, breaking ball inside, 1-1. Dudley Taw, 1 of 4 yesterday, brought the batting average on the season to .387. Also a .720 slugging percentage. The 1-1. Chopper toward the right side. First baseman Lafayette on it. Race to the bag, and he dives, and he wins it. So another 1 on the scoreboard for Baldwin Wallace. They take a 2-0 lead to the bottom half of the 5th. Danny Cody back to the bump for the Yellow Jackets.
For Baldwin Wallace in the top of the 5th, they had 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left out. The NCAA thanks our corporate champions, AT&T, Capital One, and Coca-Cola, and our corporate partners, Buffalo Wild Wings, Buick, Degree, Enterprise Rental Car, Google Cloud, Indeed, Infinity, Intel, Lowe's, Marriott, Nabisco, Northwestern Mutual, Pizza Hut, Reese's, and Wendy's. Their support enhances NCAA championships and the educational and athletic experiences of nearly 500,000 NCAA student athletes.
Okay.
Leading off the bottom of the fifth, the designated hitter, number 21, Aaron Clancy.
Bottom of the fifth inning between Westfield State and Baldwin Wallace. Yellow Jackets on top 2-0 over the Owls. First man to the plate for Westfield State, Aaron Clancy, at the bottom of the lineup on the way. Clancy, Murphy, and Beach due up for Westfield State, looking to get the first run of the game against Danny Cody. Another quick 0-2 count for Cody, who's been fantastic so far, as he was all season long for Baldwin Wallace. 93 strikeouts during the season. Already got 4 today through 4 full innings. Pitch number 68 for Cody, missed outside with a fastball. 1-2. Clancy struck out back in the second inning. Third and final man to do so in that frame. Striking out the side did Cody in 1-2-3 fashion. The 1-2 lifted out to center field. Chase Canodal underneath it for Baldwin Wallace, and he makes the catch.
Batting the right fielder, number 7, Kyle Murphy.
That brings up Kyle Murphy, 0 for 1 so far today. 0-1 as he fouls it right back to Trent Kaltenbach. Westfield State looking to stay alive as the 8 seed in this New York Regional. Went down to the wire with the 1 seed Cortland State yesterday. 5-4 victory for the Red Dragons in the 10th inning. And a walk-off passed ball. The 0-1 grounder toward Ludwig at short. 2 down. Tyler Beach in next for Westfield State. 0 for 5 so far in this tournament, but he did score a run yesterday. Reached on an error against Cortland. Came all the way around to score. Beach, a .282 hitter so far this season. First pitch from Cody. Beach showed bunt, but pulled it right back. 1-0 the count. This time he lays it down. It's a gorgeous bunt down the third base line. Pennington on it for Baldwin Wallace. Throw to first. Cannot be handled by the first baseman, Jacob Bonner. And that's a base knock for Tyler Beach on the bunt single. Legs it out down the first base line. You'd think with wheels like that, Beach would pile up the stolen bases. He only stole once this year, and he was successful. That brings up John Lippincott, the leadoff man for Westfield State. 0 for 2 so far today against Danny Cody. Won the count for Lippincott. Rides a 10-game hit streak into this one, including 1 yesterday. 1 for 5 in that loss to Cortland. The 0-1. Hard ground ball right up the gut. Threw into the outfield for a base knock. Back-to-back singles for Westfield State. Some 2-out lightning here as the throw gets away from the shortstop Ludwig. Backed up by the pitcher Cody.
Out in the third baseman, number 10, Brett Dooley.
11-game hit streak for John Lippincott now. Not even the longest of his career, though. 17-game hit streak last season. Now he's doing it in the postseason for Westfield State. Lippincott in his senior year, one of the captains for this Owls team, takes his lead off of first. Runners at first and second for Brett Dooley, who swings through the first pitch. Now 4 hits for Westfield State in the last 2 innings alone. Did not put a single man on through the first 3, aside from 1 walk by this man, Brett Dooley. The 0-1 pitch, missed low and outside, 1-1. The 1-1. Right off the mask of Kaltenbach, takes a second to collect himself. Mike Lum helps him out a little bit. The home plate umpire throws the ball back to the pitcher, Cody, as Kaltenbach takes an extra beat. 1-2 the count to Brett Dooley. Bottom half of the 5th inning, Westfield State looking for its first run against Danny Cody. From the stretch, the 1-2. Poked out toward right field, but foul. Right at the Westfield, or I should say Baldwin Wallace bullpen. Yellow Jackets, technically the visitors in this one, wearing their gold / mustard / bright yellow uniforms today. Westfield State going with the white, old White Sox throwback type uniforms with the Owls across the middle. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. And Danny Cody's got his 5th strikeout of the day through 5 innings. Westfield State still scoreless against Baldwin Wallace's ace. 2-0 as we go to the top of the 6th.
Westfield State. In the bottom of the 5th, they had no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left out.
You used to wear the full yellow? I'm so sorry.
That's amazing. No, I love that. Really?
Do you have any pictures?
Oh, look at that. Yes, she does. You guys ever played Rowan? I think Portland had 4 red.
I like a full. Maybe not baseball, but football. What do you think of the Syracuse Braves? Why are you going with the gray uniform?
Why did they change? They changed.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, you know Nike. Yeah, they do all these cool things. So you know what? They're going to get all the recruits.
5 innings in the books here in the first game. On a gorgeous Friday morning in Auburn, New York. 4 games on the slate. This our opener between the 4-seed Baldwin Wallace and the 8-seed Westfield State. The Owls right now down 2-0 against the Yellow Jackets, who go back to the plate for this top half of the 6th with 3, 4, and 5 due up. Markham, Badia, and Ludwig. Nate Barnes back to the hill for the Owls. Looking to go step for step with Danny Cody, who's been lights out so far for BW. Barnes on the other side has given up those couple of runs, as a foul ball is sprayed off to the right side by Markham, so a quick 0-2 count. Barnes pretty good in his own right. He's only given up the 4 hits and a couple of runs, only 1 of them earned. Back in the first inning, Dudley Tarr reached on the catcher's interference and came around to open up the scoring. Barnes passed 80 pitches. Here in the top of the 6th against Alex Markham, the 0-2. Missed low and outside, 1-2. Markham, a .356 hitter this season. He started all 44 games for Baldwin Wallace, who's now 31-13 after the loss yesterday. Chopper toward the right side. Tyler Beach, the second baseman, on it for Westfield State. Quick throw to first to get the speedy Markham.
Now batting the second baseman, number 6, Spencer Badia.
1 down in the top of the 6th for Spencer Badia. Third trip to the plate for him. 0 for 1 with a flyout to lead off the 4th, and also a walk back in the 1st. First pitch from Barnes, inside ball 1. After those first 2 innings, every single BW batter to face Barnes has put the ball in play. 1 walk and 1 strikeout. They came in the first and second, respectively. The 1-0 pitch, line drive towards center field over the outstretched Colin Dunn, and it's a base knock for Spencer Badia. So he's got hits in both games so far in the tournament. Went 1 for 4 yesterday against Swarthmore. Now 1 for 2 today.
Now batting the shortstop, number 11, Alex Ludwig.
Badia takes his lead off of first with Alex Ludwig at the plate. First pitch to him, breaking ball drops in, 0-1. Ludwig's had himself a solid tournament so far. Up to 3 for 7, a couple of hits yesterday, and then the RBI double in the first inning of this one. .335 hitter this year. The 0-1 from Barnes from the stretch. Ludwig pokes it, it bloops right to the first baseman Lafayette on the chop, and the flip to first is in time. Ball bounced right in front of the plate, so Lafayette made the snare and had to flip it quickly to the pitcher Barnes, who was covering the bag. But it moves Badia over to second base as Ludwig is retired on the 3-1.
Jacob Bonner.
So a couple of choppers toward the right side of the infield for Baldwin Wallace in this inning. Top half of the 6th with a 2-0 lead. So far riding a phenomenal start from Danny Cody. Jacob Bonner in next for the Yellow Jackets. He takes strike 1 on the outside edge. Baldwin Wallace, a team that won with a lot of offense this season, set a school record for runs. Also tied a program record for home runs. They really found a groove in the conference tournament as well. The 0-1. Hard hit ground ball through the massive gap between first and second base. Getting the wave around third is Spencer Badia. The throw from Kyle Murphy in right field, not in time. It's a 3-0 BW lead, and just for good measure, Jacob Bonner takes second after the RBI single.
Now batting the designated hitter, number 31, Phil Wells.
So Jacob Bonner makes it a 3-zip BW lead over Westfield State. Elimination game here on day 2 of the New York Regional, this D3 baseball tournament. That brings up Phil Wells with Bonner at second base. He took it on the throw from the right fielder Kyle Murphy, trying to gun down the runner at home, Spencer Badia. First pitch to Wells, fastball in there, strike 1. Phil Wells already with 4 hits through 2 games. 2 for 2 today, a couple of doubles yesterday. Both his hits are singles so far in this one. The 0-1 from Barnes, big looping curve, missed inside. Wells batted above 300 during the regular season. Been red hot so far in the tournament. Baldwin Wallace looking to stay alive after the loss to Swarthmore yesterday. The 1-1 on the way from Barnes. Taken for ball 2, 2-1. So far, so good for BW today. No runs across for Westfield State. Compare that to yesterday when Swarthmore put up 11 runs on 20 hits. Just 4 so far today for the Owls. The 2-1 pitch to Wells. Breaking ball drops in, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Bottom of the 6th inning for Baldwin Wallace. Phil Wells looking to keep the inning alive and maybe bring home Spencer Badia from second base. I beg your pardon, Jacob Bonner. Badia scored on the RBI single from Bonner. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Wells swings out in front. The ground ball right to Lafayette at first base. Calls off Barnes and steps on the bag himself. But another 1 spot for Baldwin Wallace in the 1st, 5th, and 6th. And it's a 3-0 lead for the Yellow Jackets going to the bottom of the 6th.
For the Yellow Jackets, in the top of the sixth, they had 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left.
Hey, Dave. Scott Strachan? Strachan? All right, he's in the right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, the concession stand is now open, featuring hamburgers, hot dogs, french fries, Angelo's Pizza, hot and cold drinks.
Oh, really?
Oh, for yourself.
Oh, that's crazy.
Give me Jugetska's appearance out of the bullpen just so we can say his name a couple more
I
times.
want to say John Jigetska.
Oh, really?
He's
Love it.
really.
He's a workhorse. How many pitches did
He
he throw?
pitched 128. Yeah, it was like 128.
Yeah.
He's an animal. I want him, and I want.
Now batting the
Back at
first
Falcon
baseman,
Park in Auburn, New York, we go
Lafayette.
to the bottom of the 6th inning. Westfield State back to the dish for the meat of the lineup. Alex Lafayette, Anthony Crowley, and Jake Gibb, 3, 4, and 5 as the Owls look to get to Danny Cody for the first time today. Lafayette jumps on the first pitch, a foul ball straight back. Cody on the bump again for Baldwin Wallace, now in his 6th inning of work. 82 pitches for him, now 51 strikes. The 0-1. Another foul ball, again right back, 0-2. Lafayette on the day, 1 for 2. In the 4th inning, a single for him after a flyout back in the 1st. Went 1 for 5 yesterday, so hits in both games for the Westfield State first baseman. Trent Kaltenbach, the catcher, out to talk things over with Danny Cody. Kaltenbach, the senior, and Cody, the junior. Kaltenbach started 40 games for BW. This game number 45. 31-13 the record after the loss yesterday against Swarthmore. The 0-2 from Cody, fastball way outside. Maybe trying to get Lafayette to chase. Count moves to 1-2. Again, fastball way outside. Lafayette lays off again. Count levels, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Anthony Crowley, the MASCAC Player of the Year, stands in the on-deck circle. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Strikeout number 5 for Danny Cody, 4th one of the swinging variety. And he is 1 away from 100 on the season.
Fielder, number 26, Anthony Crowley.
Here is Crowley, 1 for 2 so far today. Went 3 for 5 yesterday in the loss against Cortland. Inside from Cody on the first delivery, 1-0. The way Danny Cody is pitching today kind of feels like a matter of when, not if, he gets that strikeout number 100. Miss low and in, 2-0 to Crowley. MASCAC Player of the Year, Massachusetts State Collegiate Athletic Conference. The 2-0. Swing and a miss on another pitch low, 2-1. So in the battle for longest and most fun to say acronym, it's a battle of the 2 Western Mass schools, I would say, in my humble opinion. Here in the regional, Westfield State from the MASCAC and Amherst from the NESCAC. New England Small College Athletic Conference. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Drops in there, 2-2. As for Baldwin Wallace out of the Ohio Athletic Conference, the OAC or the Oak, depending on how you'd say that, not quite as fun. OAC. Here comes the 2-2. Hard hit ground ball. Second baseman Badia had it for a split second. It kicks off the heel of his glove. That should be a hit on the hard hit grounder, and it is in fact for Anthony Crowley. So he's 2 for 3.
Coming to the plate, the catcher, number 28, Jake Gibb.
So a runner at first with one down for Jake Gibb. 0 for 2 so far today. Did go 2 for 4 yesterday. Pickoff attempts at first. Crowley, tons of speed. 8 stolen bases during the season. He was only caught twice. Strike one comes into Gibb. Crowley reached safely 3 times yesterday with 3 hits. Didn't try to steal, though. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Gibbs 6'2", 220 in the righty box. The 0-2. Missed low and outside in the dirt. A nice stop by Kaltenbach, the catcher. Keeps it in front of him and keeps Crowley at first base.
Yeah, we need a quarter for
The 1-2 from Cody. Missed low and outside. 2-2. Once again, here in Auburn, a perfect day for baseball. Yesterday, temperatures in the mid-70s all day long with just a couple of clouds. Today, blue sky again, 2-2. Swing and a line drive, back up the middle. Canodal, the center fielder on it, but back-to-back singles for Westfield State.
Coming to the plate, the shortstop, number 15, Colin Dunn.
That brings up Colin Dunn. So for Danny Cody, made it through the first 3 innings without allowing a single hit. Now Westfield State has put up 2 hits in each of the last 3 frames, 4, 5, and 6. First pitch on the way. Again, a stinger back up the gut, and the catch made by Chase Canodal makes a great jump to get to that line drive off the bat of Dunn. Again, though, hard contact for Westfield State. Really flipping the script here on Cody. He was pretty much untouchable in those first 3 innings. Cody coming up on 100 pitches for his day. Right now at 97 with 60 strikes. Runners at first and second now for Aaron Clancy, the DH. First pitch low and away, ball 1. Second pitch gets away from the catcher, Kaltenbach, and everybody moves up. That'll be a wild pitch charged to Danny Cody. Just like that, 2 runners in scoring position for Westfield State. Looking to plate their first run of the game. Crowley moves to third, Gibb to second. Clancy 0 for 2 on the day. He went 0 for 3 yesterday. 280 batter during the season. He drove in 10 runs. Golden chance here for the Owls. Down 3-0 with a tying run at the plate. Here comes the 2-0 from Cody. Swing and a bloop out to left center field. That'll get down and score 1. Crowley comes home to score. Gibb gets the green light around third base. It's a 2 RBI single for Aaron Clancy, and he takes second base as well. It is a 1-run game. 3-2 in the bottom of the 6th, and Westfield State finally gets to Danny Cody.
Now batting the right fielder, number 7, Kyle Murphy.
So a couple of ribbies for Aaron Clancy on that single out to left field, going the opposite way. And now he's in scoring position too. Kyle Murphy at the dish now, 0 for 2 so far today. First pitch from Cody, rears back and whips it in there. Fastball missed outside though. Murphy with a line out and a ground out so far today in the 3rd and the 5th innings. Out to center field, Knodel moves back a few feet, and he makes the catch for the third out of the frame. Westfield State didn't have a single hit through 3. Now they've got 7, and it's a 3-2 game after 6.
For the Owls in the bottom of the 6th inning, they scored 2 runs on 3 hits on 1 Baldwin Wallace error and 1 left down. And through 6 complete innings of play, it's Baldwin Wallace 3 and Westfield State 2.
What was the error?
Advancing on a throw.
Okay.
Remember, fans, the Auburn Doubledays, the short season affiliate of the Washington Nationals, will be opening their season June 15th here at Falcon Park against the Batavia Mud Dogs. Game time 7 p.m. Now batting the catcher, number 13, Trent Kaltenbach.
Baldwin Wallace hanging on to a 1-run lead, a 3-2 edge now after a couple of runs for Westfield State in the bottom half of the 6th. Number 8 hitter Trent Kaltenbach leads it off for the Yellow Jackets here in the top half of the 7th. Foul tip right back to the catcher, 0-1. Nate Barnes still on the hill for Westfield State, the 8th seed in this New York Regional. Lost in extra innings against the 1-seed Cortland yesterday, 5-4. Now down 3-2. And the fastball missed low and away, 1-1. The Owls the home team technically in this one against the Yellow Jackets, who are the higher seed, 4 versus 8. But since Westfield State was technically the visitor yesterday, Baldwin Wallace technically at home, they flipped that today. The 1-1. Breaking ball misses low. Kaltenbach so far today 0 for 2, but he did score a run back in the 5th, reached via the fielder's choice and came all the way around to score the last run for BW in the 5th inning. The 2-1. Fastball low, 3-1. Yellow Jackets tacked on 1 more in the 6th. RBI single from Jacob Bonner scored Spencer Padilla. They had that 3-0 lead heading into the bottom half of the frame, but a 2 RBI single for Aaron Clancy has made this one close again. High fly ball to left field. John Lippincott underneath for Westfield State. Barely moves an inch. 1 down. Barnes coming up on 100 pitches, just like Danny Cody is for Baldwin Wallace. 2 pitchers again going deep. That's something we've seen quite a few times already. This game 5 here at the New York Regional in Auburn. Kyle Pennington in next for BW. He takes ball 1 outside. 1 for 2 so far today. Last time to the plate in the 5th inning. A single. Got himself to first base. Again, low and outside, 2-0. So Barnes now with 100 pitches, 64 of them have been strikes. The 2-0. Again, away from the righty batter, 3-0. If you like efficient pitching lines, last night was a gem for you. Connor Reeves for Salisbury threw 140 pitches and more than 100 strikes. The 3-0. Finally finds that outside corner, and Barnes deals strike 1. Ball 4 low and inside. It's a 5-pitch walk for Kyle Pennington. Second walk of the morning, I should say, for Nate Barnes. And first since the first inning.
Center fielder, number 9, Chase Knodel.
Now here in the top of the 7th, Chase Knodel comes back up for the 4th time today, the leadoff man for BW. 0 for 3, but with an RBI back in the 5th on the fielder's choice. Nearly a double play that would have ended the inning for Westfield State. Canoto legged it out, allowed his team to score another run, which proves crucial right now on top 3-2. First pitch to Canoto, fouled off to the right side over the dugout for Baldwin Wallace. Into the bleachers here at Falcon Park. A fan who retrieves that ball for Baldwin Wallace, wearing a shirt that matches the uniforms. Fortunately for people who don't like yellow, BW does not wear the full yellow anymore. The 0-1. Missed high and outside. If your eyes are sensitive, that's certainly good news for you. The yellow is bright, especially when the sun is beating down. Here comes the 1-1 pitch to Canoto. Chopper right back up the middle. The pitcher is on it. Barnes makes the catch, turns and throws to first. And they get the play there. Good composure by Nate Barnes there to find that baseball above his head as he was backpedaling along the mound. That could be a dangerous play, maybe a turn an ankle or something. But Barnes makes the nearly 360 turn and whips to first base. Pennington does move up to second base, though, for Baldwin Wallace, now with 2 down for Dudley Taw. And 1 on the foul ball to Taw. Scored the first run of the game back in the first. Still is 0 for 3, though, because he reached on the catcher's interference. Each team with an error so far today. Catcher's interference, again, technically an error. So an E2, that was back in the first against Westfield State. BW's error came in the last inning, the 6th, on the throw from left field. Could not be fielded cleanly by the first baseman Jacob Bonner in the infield. It allowed Aaron Clancy to take second base after his 2 RBI single. He was stranded there. Still a 3-2 game, though. Westfield State plates a couple. 1-1 the count to Dudley Taw. Kyle Pennington stands at second base. Breaking ball, not quite enough dip to get back into the strike zone. 2-1. Barnes in his 7th inning of work, already cracked 100 pitches. Longest start of the season, 8 full innings back in March against Elms College. The 2-1, swing and a miss. Barnes also went 7 full against Fitchburg State back on April 18th, 1 month ago to the day. Allowed 9 hits in that one, but only a couple of runs. 2 down in the top of the 7th, 2-2 the count. Nubbed off the end of the bat toward the second baseman Tyler Beach, on it for Westfield State, and that does it for the top half of the 7th. We stretch at Falcon Park, a 3-2 lead for Baldwin Wallace. Westfield State played it a couple in the bottom half of the 6th, only down by a run.
For Baldwin Wallace at the top of the 7th, they had no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base.
Get up and stretch.
It's the bottom of the 7th, folks, so it's time to get up and stretch those arms and legs and loosen up for the remainder of the game.
What did you say the scoreboard is online for the full tournament?
D3.
Yeah, I just remember you getting into this yesterday.
Coming to the plate for the Owls, the second baseman, number 3, Tyler Beach.
Bottom half of the 7th inning here at Falcon Park. Game 1 of Day 2. New York Regional. Westfield State down 3-2. Back to the plate. First batter, Tyler Beach, sends the first pitch he sees from Danny Cody out to left center field. And the catch is made by Chase Canodal. That's the second time in 3 plate appearances for Tyler Beach where he swung on the first pitch and flown out to center. He also swung at the first pitch he saw back in the 5th, but a bunt single. So he's 1 for 3 today. Westfield State goes back to the top with John Lippincott. Danny Cody back out there for Baldwin Wallace in his 7th inning of work. Fastball low, 1-0 for Lippincott. 1 for 3 so far today with a single back in the 5th. 11-game hit streak now for number 11, Westfield State. Cody up to 103 pitches, 63 strikes, and 40 balls. He's gone 7 full innings 4 different times this season. His 1-0 pitch, skied by Lippincott. Foul territory, straight back. This makes it 4 starts in a row for Danny Cody, going at least 6 full. The 1-1. Hard ground ball, fouled on the first baseline, 1-2. Both starters still in the game. Nate Barnes is through 7 complete innings for Westfield State, allowing 3 runs, 2 of them earned. The Owls have been warming up Scott Strachan for the last couple of innings. So we'll see what the decision is in the top of the 8th. The 1-2 from Cody. Another foul ball for Lippincott. Westfield State's coach, Nathan Bashaw, in his 5th year at the helm of the Owls. Swing and a miss, gets away from the catcher Kaltenbach, makes the play over to first, and that is strikeout number 100 for Danny Cody this season.
Now batting the 3rd baseman, number 10, Brett Dooley.
Four of those 7 strikeouts today for Cody have come against the top 3 hitters for Westfield State, 2 against Lippincott, 1 against Dooley, and 1 against Lafayette. Dooley steps in now, the number 2 hole hitter. 0 for 2 so far today, with a walk back in the 1st inning as well. Breaking ball in there, 1-1. Dooley, a .331 hitter this year. In 40 starts so far for Westfield State. Did not go around that time. 2-1 the count. The appeal to Justin Sims down the first base line. Three and 1 now for Danny Cody, who continues to pound the lower half of the strike zone. Has not walked a batter since the second one he faced, Brett Dooley, all the way back in the 1st. Now the count 3-1 again to Dooley as Cody steps off for a split second. Now a full count with 2 down in the bottom of the 7th. 3-2 the count, 3-2 the score. Baldwin Wallace hanging on to a 1-run lead over Westfield State. Fastball low, and Dooley walks for the 2nd time today. The only man to get a free pass from Danny Cody in this one.
Now batting the first baseman, number 31, Alex Lafayette.
That brings up Alex Lafayette. The go-ahead run at the plate. Takes ball 1 up high. Dooley with 5 stolen bases on the season. He was caught 3 times. Lafayette at the plate, a .325 hitter. Single toward right center over the glove of Spencer Badilla, the second baseman who could not get there. Savvy base running by Dooley makes it all the way to third base. Runners on the corners now for Westfield State with 2 down in the bottom of the 7th.
Now batting the center fielder, number 26, Anthony Crowley.
And in a situation like this, Anthony Crowley is just the man that Nathan Bashaw wants at the plate for Westfield State. Conference Player of the Year, drove in 55 runs. Also smacked 12 home runs. That is a single season program record. He takes strike 1 from Danny Cody. It's now 4 straight innings with a hit for Westfield State. 2 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th, and now 1 in the 7th. 0-1. Fastball in there, 0-2. Comes after they did not put up a single hit on the board in the first 3 innings against Cody, who's now up to 116 pitches. Here comes the 0-2. Fastball outside, 1-2. Lafayette at first base, Dooley at third. The 1-2 from Cody. Again outside and a little bit low, 2-2. Jake Gibbs stands in the on-deck circle, the catcher, with his shin guards on already. Now a mound visit for BW. Brian Harrison out to talk things over. Head man of the Yellow Jackets in his 8th season as head coach. Don't see any action in the BW bullpen just yet. Cody has gone 8 full innings a couple of times this season, plus a couple of 7-inning outings. Count is 2-2 to Anthony Crowley, and a fastball low and outside again. So 3 straight misses in the same area for Danny Cody. As we approach noon here at Falcon Park, it's the bottom of the 7th inning between Westfield State and Baldwin Wallace. A 3-2 count for Anthony Crowley. Runners on the corners and 2 down. This could be a turning point in this game in either direction. Here comes the payoff pitch from Cody. Breaking ball missed upstairs, ball 4. Bases are juiced for Jake Gibb.
Coming to the plate, the catcher, number 28, Jake Gibb.
3rd walk of the morning for Danny Cody. 2nd walk in the last 3 batters he's faced. Gibb on the day, 1 for 3. 2 for 4 yesterday. Swings at the first pitch and pops it into right field. Alex Markham underneath for BW. And the jam escaped for Danny Cody. Leaves the bases full. And Baldwin Wallace clings to a 1-run lead. 3-2 after 7 full.
For the Owls in the bottom of the 7th, they had no runs, not 1 hit, no errors, and 3 left down.
That was a good mound visit, I guess. Hey, walk this guy. Do not pitch to.
Stricken?
Stricken from the right.
What's wrong with Perea, Ohio? Perea?
Now pitching for the Owls, number 29, Scott Straken.
That's laughing at Aaron. Not bad. Penguin walks into the bar. Yeah. I got it the first time.
Oh, okay. You sounded like you didn't get it.
I got that part. No problem. I just wasn't sure if there was something more I was missing.
Leading off the top of the eighth, for the Yellow Jackets, the right fielder, number 5.
Both starters threw 7 full innings here in this matchup between Westfield State and Baldwin Wallace. And Nate Barnes' day is over for the Owls. Goes 7 strong innings, allows 3 runs, 2 of them earned against these Yellow Jackets. That's the difference right now, 3-2. New man on the mound, Scott Strachan. He deals ball 1 to Alex Markham. Welcome to the game, Scott. You get 3, 4, 5 in the BW lineup. Markham still looking for his first hit in this NCAA tournament. 0 for 7 so far. Swings at the 1-0 off the hands and up in the air toward the BW dugout. Is it going to land? Yes, it does. Right on the concrete and between the steps and the bench. No one has to retrieve it in the stands here at Falcon Park in Auburn, New York. Another gorgeous day for baseball. 12:01 right now. The 1-1 from Strachan to Markham. Swing off the end of the bat. High fly ball toward right center field. Tailing toward the gap, and Kyle Murphy makes the play near the warning track. So Murphy got a little bit of a break there. The 1-1 from Strachan to Markham. Swing off the end of the bat. High fly ball toward right center field. Tailing toward the gap, and Kyle Murphy makes the play near the warning track. That brings up Spencer Padilla, the cleanup man for Baldwin Wallace. He takes ball 1 from Strachan. Book on Barnes is closed. He goes 7 full innings. Again, 3 runs, 2 of them earned. 6 hits, faces 29 batters. Strikes out 1 and surrenders a couple of walks. In total, 113 pitches and 70 strikes. The 1-0. Line drive out to center field. Crowley moves a couple of feet back, and he makes the catch for the second out.
Now batting the shortstop, number 11, Alex Ludwig.
In next, Alex Ludwig, who's been arguably Baldwin Wallace's best hitter so far. He's got 3 hits. Phil Wells might have something to say about that, too. Wells has 4 hits across these 2 games. Ludwig with 3. He did have that RBI double back in the first. First pitch from Strachan misses low. Same spot, same result, ball 2. Strachan, the junior out of Braintree, Massachusetts, 5'9", 180. That tailing fastball finds the zone. Another lefty on the bump for Westfield State. against this Baldwin-Wallace lineup with 4 lefty batters and 5 righties. The 2-1. Missed low, 3-1. Yesterday, making the start was John Jagetskis, another big lefty. Strachan's 3-1 pitch. Missed inside, ball 4.
Now batting the first baseman, number 25, Jacob Bonner.
Jacob Bonner steps in with Ludwig at first base. Ludwig swept 14 bags this season. He was only caught twice. Strike 1 comes into Jacob Bonner. 1 for 3 on the day so far. He went 1 for 4 yesterday. RBI single in the 6th inning of this one. That's the difference right now. A 3-2 lead for Baldwin-Wallace. One and one after the ball comes in from Scott Strachan. This season an ERA of .257 in 21 total innings. One pitch fouled off, 1-2. In those 21 innings, 12 strikeouts for Strachan and 8 walks. Ludwig takes his lead off of first. Bonner at the dish. The 1-2 from Strachan. Missed low with a breaking ball. Good patience by Bonner to lay off that one. Started in the zone and then dropped out. This is Strachan's 18th appearance of the season. Tops on the team by a mile. No one else with more than 13. And busy out of the pen this year. No starts. The 2-2. Right off the end of the bat for Bonner, and he stays alive. Bonner, the sophomore out of Akron, a .302 hitter this season. Played in every game but one and started all but 2. Another 2-2 pitch. Runner goes again. This one golfed out to shallow left field. Lippincott underneath it for Westfield State. And the Owls come back to the plate in the bottom half of the 8th. Still down by